Hey Volo fans, welcome back to the channel. Please subscribe if this is your first time here, because today we're going way back to the beginning. We're telling the real story behind Il Volo, how it all started, how these three boys met, what they went through, and how they became one of the most loved music groups in the world. This isn't just a band story. It's about friendship, dreams, family, hard work, and moments that changed their lives forever. If you've ever listened to an Il Volo song and felt something deep inside, this story is for you. Let's go back to where it all began, before the fame, before the tours, before the bright lights. It all started with three very different boys, Piero Barone, Ignazio Bichetto, and Gianluca Giambo, who were just regular kids with big dreams. They didn't know each other at first. Each of them had a different life, a different home, and a different way of seeing the world. But the one thing they shared was their love for singing. Gianluca was from a small town in Abruzzo. He grew up in a family that loved music and supported his passion. From a young age, people noticed that his voice was special. It wasn't just strong, it was emotional. When he sang, even grown-ups stopped to listen. He joined local competitions, singing mostly Italian classics, and each time he stepped on stage, he won people over with his soft, deep voice. He wasn't loud or flashy. He just sang from the heart. Ignazio, on the other hand, came from Marsala in Sicily. His voice had power, and so did his personality. He was always the funny one, the energetic one, the one who lit up the room. But behind that humor was a kid with real talent and a big heart. He grew up with his mother and family who always pushed him to follow his gift. Music was a huge part of his life from the very start. He had a high, clear voice and incredible control even as a child. He could make people laugh one minute and cry the next with his singing. Then there was Piero, from a small town in Sicily called Nero. Piero had a different path. His grandfather was the one who discovered his voice. One day, little Piero was singing while doing his homework, and his nonno told him, "You're going to be an opera singer." That moment changed everything. From that day on, Piero's life became about music. He trained hard, practiced constantly, and worked with voice coaches to grow stronger and more skilled. He had a powerful classical voice that stood out immediately. All three boys were chosen to be part of an Italian TV show called Ti lascio una canzone in 2009. That's where fate stepped in. At first, they competed individually, and each of them impressed the audience and judges in their own way. But then something unexpected happened. The producers had an idea. What if they sang together? What if their voices, so different from each other, were combined in one song? The first time they sang together on stage, something magical happened. It was a version of O Sol Mio, and the moment they finished, the audience was in shock. Not only did they sound great together, they sounded perfect. It was as if they were meant to sing as one. The harmony, the passion, the strength, they had it all. That one performance changed their lives. After that, people started talking about them as a group. Not three solo acts anymore, but a trio. A team. A new force in music. From there, things moved fast. They were signed by a big music label, and they started working on their first album. But even though they were young, just teenagers, they worked like professionals. They practiced every day, traveled for shows, did interviews, and stayed close to their families. That balance between fame and real life helped them stay grounded. They called themselves Il Volo, which means the flight in Italian. That name wasn't just about rising to fame. It was about dreaming big, flying beyond borders, and bringing their voices to the world. And that's exactly what they did. Their first album was released in 2010, and it was a hit not just in Italy, but internationally. People in the United States, Latin America, Europe, and even Asia fell in love with them. They weren't a typical boy band. They were something new. A mix of opera and pop. Young but classical. Modern but traditional. People didn't know where to place them, but they knew they loved them. They toured the world, singing in different languages, performing in beautiful theaters and big stadiums. They sang with big stars like Barbra Streisand and Placido Domingo. They won awards. They sang at the Latin Grammy Awards. They even competed at the Sanremo Festival in Italy and later represented Italy in the Eurovision Song Contest. Everywhere they went, they left a mark. But even with all the success, they never lost sight of who they were. They stayed close to their families. They still talked about their towns, their homes, their grandparents, their love for food and tradition. They stayed humble, which made fans love them even more. They also stayed close to each other. Even though they're different in so many ways, Gianluca is calm and thoughtful, Ignazio is lively and playful, and Piero is focused and strong. They respect each other deeply. Their friendship is real. They fight sometimes like brothers do, but they always come back together. Over the years, they've grown up in front of us. From boys to men. From school kids to international stars. Their voices changed. Their styles changed. But one thing stayed the same, the emotion in their music. Whether they're singing Grande Amore, Il Mondo, or a simple love song, you can feel their passion. You can feel that they mean every word. And that's what makes them special. Today, Illinois Volo continues to sing, tour, and make fans happy around the world. They've released many albums, including tributes to Italian legends like Ennio Morricone. They've performed for popes and presidents. They've stood on some of the biggest stages in the world, and yet they still take time to thank their fans, sign autographs, and smile for every photo. And now, their journey is entering new stages. Gianluca, Ignazio, and Piero are all exploring personal dreams too. Some are getting married, some are acting, some are writing new music. But Il Volo stays strong because the bond they created is built on love, respect, and real friendship. That's why we keep coming back. Because when they sing, we don't just hear music, we feel a story, a journey, a memory. So now that you know their background, we want to hear from you. Which member did you connect with first? What was the first Il Volo song that gave you goosebumps? Have you ever seen them live? Do you have a favorite tour memory? Let us know in the comments because this channel is for fans like you. We're here to celebrate every part of Il Volo's story, the past, the present, and the future. And there's so much more to come. More songs, more stories, more heart. So if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. We'll keep sharing the journey with you one note at a time. Thank you for being part of the Il Volo family.